Yo, bald. Yeah, we're definitely gonna do dreads. Hey, hello. I don't know why I did that. I was trying to say hi and hello, and it came out like hello. I think I prefer dreads over braids, Heike, because I don't know. I don't like my hair being this flat anymore. I have the Archangel Power cards because I got 4 decks out of rotation, and it's some that I use. So I could do the dice, and I thought about it. Well, since I thought about it, I guess I will. I'll grab a bag, and then I'll use the Archangel Power cards as clarifiers or whatever. So, okay, I was like, what the? Today was supposed to be my vacation day. Today is May 24th. I was supposed to be on a cruise or in London or wherever. But I will take the postpone to make my trip even better. So I look forward to seeing. Ooh, the orange ones. I look forward to seeing what that's going to end up turning into. I guess I'll just get into it. I finished Scorpio and Libra. I'm feeling good. I'm 6 down, so if I do 2 more, this will be the most I've done outside of like One Life, where I did it like real quick. So I'm excited because usually I get like 6 in and then I stop. So, but it's all about finishing things, and I still don't know where my mouse is, so I can't even finish. I'm gonna find it today though, because I had enough rest days, and I'm feeling, even though I didn't sleep too long or extremely well, I'm not feeling super tired. So let's see. We have number 4, number 7, number 11, number 46, and a 6. And here it is, a 2. Okay. So we're dealing with the heart and the third eye. I feel like we had these before. And I'm not listening to my peaceful meditations playlist today. So I need to get better at setting intentions. Again, that's why I like to come with like something prepared, because I always build intention into whatever I'm doing when I know what I'm doing. And I do that because I'm not great with remembering what my intentions are. It's like I know my overall intentions, but when it comes to like the specific layout, like I'll know it when I come up with it, but if I don't write it down, I'll forget it. And then I'll be like, what is this card? Like, how does this go? What is the flow? I mean, I go with it and it's okay. So I'm not necessarily like complaining too much, but I just like to be a little bit more intent, I guess. I've gone with the flow enough. I mean, I guess it happens when it's supposed to. So, okay. Oh, all right, nice. So 46. This is the initiate of realms. I'm getting lots of like court energies coming out lately. And before like this period of time, I never got any. And now it's always like scholars and initiates. I've gotten the initiate of essences before. I guess that scholar was for a specific person. But no, there was a scholar of souls on the last station, I believe. It was like 516 or 517 last station. Okay, so this is Aquarius, and Aquarian energy has been coming out a lot lately. I've also been seeing the King of Swords a lot, which is Aquarian energy. 46, this is the Scholar of Realm. No, the Initiative Realms. Number 7 is Chariot energy, and then the 2 is Earth. So how do I want to bunch these up? Well, we have Earth in the Scholar of Realms. And the Scholar of Realms is the energy of the Page of Earth, a messenger. And then we have the Chariot, which is movement. I think I used, no, maybe it wasn't these. I was going to say, I think I used these on daily upload number 4, the one without audio. And I say that every time. It's the one without audio. 4 and 6, the heart and the third eye, and then number 11. And I guess that's going to come over here with these two. So how I have these separated out is first is Earth, then is the initiative realms, then is the chariot, and then is the heart, the third eye, and Aquarian energy over here. So let's get into this. I guess we'll start with Earth. So the element of Earth is all about sort of, oh, okay. I just picked up the cards and the King of Cups flipped right over. King of Raphael. It's warm, generous, honorable, and refined. It says, yes, it is safe to trust. The ability to accomplish many things at once. Follow your creative passions. I'll be so glad when my setup improves. And it's hot. It's warm. It's so warm. It's so warm. It's time for me to go to the southern hemisphere. I'm like the birds. I fly south for the summer. Well, technically it's summer up here, but I fly south for the winter. For the winter, because I want the winter, so I fly south in the summer to get that winter because it is too hot. I do not do well in heat. When it comes to the element of earth, I'm almost seeing it more as our understanding, more so, or I'm feeling it more as more of our understanding than air, which is interesting. But it would be our understanding of how things work. And I guess it's an element of practicality. So it's not, because air sometimes almost feels like water to me. Like, oh, hey, Mimi. Hey, I mean, I just got it. Like, this is more function than form. Like, I wanted my hair done in a way that would keep it from like getting like knotted up and tied up and like dying, right? Because I want to grow it out. But I think I prefer locks, honestly. But Uranus was conjuncting my ascendant, so I had to change up my appearance. I've never gotten braids before. It feels like someone is constantly pulling at my head, and it's fine, I guess. It's like, is this a headache because some of these braids are a little tight and I'm not used to them, or is this a headache because ascension symptoms? Let me stop. um, but yeah, sometimes I feel air is water. Yours is twisted right now until you undo it. So those curls can pop. That's what I asked my mom to like just twist my hair up. And she braided it. And I was like, okay. These curls gonna be popping. Okay. So yeah. I typically sometimes feel air as like a Neptunian energy, where it's all about like fantasies of the future, like a sci-fi. Air is like a sci-fi energy sometimes. So this earth energy is analytical like air, but it's still practical. But this is an understanding of the below or the relationship with the above and the below. It's an understanding of the relationship between the above and the below, but a focus on the below. That's what this is. And then with this initiate of realms, I think this is more so, and again, it almost feels like there's this air energy. And maybe that's Aquarius on the table. Maybe that's the Aquarius on the table. Because Aquarius would be sci-fi energy. How are you doing today, Mimi? I didn't ask you that, did I? How are you? Um, so maybe that's what that is. I was like, there's so much air here. What is it? It's Aquarius. Um, Saturn is in Aquarius right now, transiting back to Capricorn. So it could be that. Saturn rules Aquarius and Capricorn. So Saturn is like, I'm my own best friend. And then you have Mercury and Jupiter that will square itself. I guess I never thought about it like that. Because Taurus and Libra in conjunct, right? What is the next door? That's not a semi square. That's 30 degrees. Semi-sextile, is that an aspect? Boom, boom, boom. You're good. How about you, girl? I'm good. I've been playing Animal Crossing. I've been putting in work on my island finally. So like, I got a recipe for a shell fountain and some shell stools, and I already had a shell table. So I had this whole little pearl opulent shell area put up. I put up some like iron and stone fences. I fenced it off. I've been fencing off some other things. And I don't know. Maybe it's like I'm building a life virtually so that physically it can come in or something. I don't know. I don't know. I've been playing a lot of Animal Crossing lately, and more than just like getting on to do the turnips. But yeah, I've been good. I was a little tired for a few days, or yesterday especially. I didn't sleep much better today, but I am feeling better, less tired, and I've been seeing a newcomer in my dreams, which is interesting because I've never dreamed of this person. And the first time I dreamt of this person, they were like, "We're trying to remove him from the premises, but he won't leave." And so I went up to him and I was like, "Hey, buddy, like, how's it going? Like, how are you doing?" And he was like, "Yeah, it's like, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for that." And I was like, "Yeah, like, me too." And I was like, "So, like, what's up?" But yeah, it was interesting. And then also, I was with my dad last night, and we were driving again. For some reason, every time I'm with my dad in a dream lately, it's like we're going somewhere. And we're in a car, and he's driving, and it's crazy. One time, we were like on the water going somewhere, and he was like riding a dolphin or something, or we were riding dolphins or something, going to a place because something was about to begin. Um, Still ain't really talked to my dad, so I should do that. But it's like we were in a car and like plummeting. I don't know if we drove off of a cliff or if we ran out of road or what, but we're in this vehicle falling. And so we're like trying not to lean too far forward so it tips forward and trying not to lean so far back that it like tips back. So we're like in this car falling and just like balancing ourselves so the car will balance. And then we like land on the ground no problem. Because, I guess we were fairly good at balancing. But I was like, oh my gosh, like what is happening? I don't know. That dream was a lot. But yeah, manifesting in all forms, exactly. You got to get it right on the video game to get it right in real life. But I guess it's also just like, I don't know. It's doing some things, rearranging some things, collecting shells and storing them for other things, and it's being prepared. And I got my room done. I upgraded my house finally. I got like my little room set up and it's kind of cute. I got my little, I mean, I don't have any dividers yet. So it's just like a bidet and a sink and an oven and a hearth all in one room. And I wish I could have some dividers up so, I could put something in front of the bidet or the toilet. I think it's just the bidet though. So I still don't have a toilet. But anyway. So with this earth energy and with this initiate of realms, I feel like it's about, like I said, it's like it's an understanding of the above and the below with a focus on the below. And the focus on the below, the focus is in the above to bring it to the below. But with the initiate, this is about something new. This could be new in the sense of like manifestation is new and coming into a deeper understanding of manifestation, or it could also be a deepening. And I'm almost sort of feeling it as, I don't know. Maybe we'll do it both ways. I mean, this Aquarian energy is everywhere, so I'm gonna put this in the middle. I tried to put it over here, but that Aquarian energy is everywhere. That King of Swords. You know what? I'm gonna look and see what's on the side of the King of Michael real quick. Because why the freak not? Well, there's the Queen of Michael with the Six of Michael. She came out early. There's another Queen. Let's see. Here's the Knight of Michael. There's the Page of Michael. So the Michaels are coming out. There's the Knight of Raphael. The King of Gabriel. So the first king is the King of Gabriel. Then the Knight of Gabriel. Oof, Gabriel is catching up. The King of Raphael. So the Knight and the King of Raphael are out. There's the King of Ariel. The Queen of Raphael. The Queen of Ariel. And the King of Michael. Okay. I was like, the King of Michael. All the Michaels came out, and the king is going to be. The king is nowhere to be found. They're looking for the king. They're searching for the King of Michael. They do not know where he has gone. And it's interesting because the King of Swords, I kept seeing the King of Swords, the backside of the King of Swords in the vice versa tarot. And that's all about someone sort of like standing their ground on their own, where maybe they could get a few allies. And then there's the Three of Raphael. Maybe they could get a few allies, but it's like they're not doing it. They're going to take the brunt of the storm alone. And then here we have this King of Michael separated from a lot of stuff. But right next to this King of Michael is this Queen of Ariel. The Queen of Ariel is the Queen of Pentacles. King of Michael is the King of Swords. So there's this marriage in between the realms and the zones right now. It's interesting because it's almost like a feeling of when worlds collide, but it's like one world on top of the other. Or it's like they're on top of each other, but they don't interact with each other. So they can occupy the same space without like the fabric of the universe. Oh, that reminds me of a dream I had. I had this dream a long time ago that there was this a space or a place that was magical and it looked like Adventure Time. It was like these little teddy bear looking things that would like walk around. And I was with them and they were telling me to like basically go and like kick out these people who are in this space because it was magical. Like, this is our space. And so in this space, it's like thoughts became things instantly. And so the teddy bear dude takes me over there and he's like, see, like, look at what they're doing with this space. And it was chaotic beyond chaotic. And he was like, we know how to use this space. And they're over there like, first of all, this ain't even their space in the first place. Second of all, they're gonna destroy each other. And it's almost sort of giving me that vibe in a way. And so maybe the delay between thoughts becoming things is about to decrease. And that's what this initiate of realms is about. Because I was like, it's either someone is learning how to do it for the first time or it's getting deeper. Now, the heart chakra and the third eye chakra both came out. So the heart and the third eye, that's about realizing who you are and looking at the world as a reflection of you. But there's an element of potential mastery here because by changing, see, it's about it's about you knowing who you are and you seeing the world as it is. There are some parts of the world that are you, that reflect you, and there are some parts of the world that are not you. And it's like, for the novice, you would say that everyone that you encounter is a reflection of you. Everything that you see is a reflection of you. So if there's something that you don't like in your external world, realm, or reality, it's because there is some kind of conflict or contention inside of you that is manifesting outside. But when you take it a bit further, when you know who you are and you know what is you and you know what is not you, then you can see the things that you can see things as they are. And not everything is a reflection of the self. But if you're in that space where you aren't quite yet, it's interesting. It's not interesting. I mean, it is interesting. It's kind of sort of difficult to explain because it's like it is, but it isn't. And it's like it is, but like not all the time. And it's like sometimes it's a reflection of you. Sometimes it's a reflection of kind of sort of the collective subconscious or a deeper undertow in general that may not necessarily be exactly you. But that point almost always comes after you reach the spot of finding who you are. But that's also to say that like the things that are you, you need to look at as you. Oh, this is 10 cups between the 7 and the 3. That's cute. Okay, so this King of Michael came out between the Queen of Ariel, Queen of Pentacles, and this Seven of Raphael, Seven of Cups. So the Queen of Ariel is, excuse me, mature, practical, generous, and happy. Ooh, she happy. Nurture yourself and those you love. The ability to make anything more beautiful and practical and wise advice. And then the Seven of Raphael is time to make a decision. Be clear on what you want and take action. A need for detoxification. And the Chariot did come out. So interesting, because I think that's the only card I haven't talked about yet. Forgot about the Chariot, kind of. um, oh, and I just moved the Aquarian energy next to the Chariot because it feels like that Aquarian energy is like in the middle of all of this, honestly. Um, it would kind of sort of be the thread that links everything. But yeah, there's almost this energy of like when worlds collide, but it's like they're layered on top of each other. So it doesn't physically. All right, Miyoshi, have fun. Good luck. No, good luck. Have fun. Get that work done. I'm gonna get my work done because I've been procrastinating long enough. I may do Virgo and Leo before, but enjoy it. Um, yeah, it's almost like this layering of worlds. So it's like things have kind of sort of never been closer. Crops have never been more ripe. The land has never been more fertile, and there's an ability to kind of sort of shift the way that we do things. And it's like the things that truly align to who we are will be the things that manifest the most easily right now. And also, with the Seven of Raphael down here, the initiative realms, like this energy goes beyond just manifestation, even though it's tied to it intimately. But it's like knowing knowing why you manifest the things that you're manifesting. Because just like I said that like your external reality is a reflection of you, but not every single element in that is you. I feel like the same is being said for the things that you're manifesting. Not everything, not every opportunity that comes your way is for you. in this period of time. And if you, oh, there's this devil energy here. It is, but it isn't necessarily like, I mean, it is what it is. So I'm not going to say it's not bad, but because I've been seeing the Five of Swords a lot. And the energy around the Five of Swords that I've been feeling lately is that you'll win regardless. Either way, you can be successful, but there are some paths that lead to a richer, more fulfilling abundance than other paths. There are paths that lead to success, and then paths that lead to wealth, and then paths that lead to abundance. And it's different things to varying degrees. But it's almost like it's like a tributary or a river or like a delta. What is it? Is that what it's called? A river delta? I'm seeing it as like there's this one river that flows down, but it splits and it breaks into many. The tributary is at the top, so it's not the tributary. You're trying to reach the tributary. I ain't talked about this since like elementary school, so forgive me. I don't know why I'm trying to get so like scientific lately, but I guess I'm just going with it. So it's like I think it's a delta, but a delta just may be like some sandy type of thing. I'll ask Siri real quick. Hey Siri, what is a delta?
Fourth letter of the Greek alphabet.
No,
In the system of Greek.
No. That's not what I wanted. Is it a delta? Hey Siri, what is a river delta?
A river delta is a landform created by deposition of sediment that is carried by a river as the flow leaves its mouth and enters slower moving or stagnant water. Should I keep going?
No, thank you. Okay. So that is what I thought it was. But it's still quite not. It's like it is a delta, but it's like there are many deltas. There are many. This river has many ends. Okay. I mean, not get too lost into it because then I'll forget. It's like the river has many ends. And so there are multiple ways to kind of sort of approach this river. And as long as you're going up the river, you'll get to where you're supposed to be. Now, there are some other entries that kind of sort of look the same or play a similar way. Or it's like there are some that have like blockages in them, right? And so you may sort of encounter a waterfall on one of them. And it's like, okay, well, now you have to scale a cliff if you want to keep following the river to its source, right? It's like there are some ways that are more difficult than others, and there are some ways that lead in different directions. And that's the low key kind of sort of devil energy because it's like you've made a decision. And it's almost like now that you've kind of sort of grown and evolved and changed, the devil has to change up his tactic. So maybe instead of like you encountering a bunch of resistance in the people in your environment, or instead of, I don't know, you going through these hard times that will kind of sort of get you to question or whatever, it's like maybe your trust and your faith is getting solid enough that those things will no longer deter you from your path. And so now there are like these distractors that are very shiny. So it's like there are things that you are manifesting to get you along your path. But then there are these other things that are kind of sort of happening to kind of sort of veer you off of that path. And it's not that, again, it's not that these things are necessarily bad, because I do feel like some of them will lead to success. But how do we define success? Right? Because you can be successful, quote unquote, and not happy. You can be successful and not fulfilled. You can be wealthy and be miserable. But there is a path that leads to fulfillment and abundance. And so now it's almost like these options are coming up because, again, it's like the devil kind of sort of has to change up how he tries to get you off of your path now. And like the Seven of Cups says, it's time to make a decision. Now, you can make a decision and you can go a certain way and encounter and experience other things while you keep that decision in mind. Because, again, it's like there are many ways up the same river. And there are some things that you're meant to experience kind of sort of along the way. Now, this is where this initiate of realms sort of comes in. Because this, okay, now I'm getting it. It's coming together, y'all. The high priestess ain't here. Where is she at? We got the chariot. The chariot is Cancerian energy. The high priestess is Cancerian energy because it's ruled by the moon, and the moon rules Cancer. And so it's like the high priestess is here, but she's moving. She's not still anymore. It's like people are going to look for the oracle, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, like where is she?" And they're like, "Oh yeah, the oracle has left the mountain." So now, if you want to find her, you're going to have to be in touch with your own internal guidance because she's in touch with hers, and she doesn't know where she's going. We don't know where she is, and you can wander the earth aimlessly for an eternity and never find her. But, if you listen to that subtle, still part of you, it will know exactly where she is, and that's how you'll find her. Now, by the time you listen to that part of you, and by the time you find the oracle, you'll discover that you don't even need her because you've already been accustomed to listening to that part of you. And so the part that speaks through her to get to you, you've been listening to this whole time. And that's kind of sort of the vibe here. And that's why there's this air element to this earth. Because it's like, again, with the initiative souls, it's like an understanding, the initiative souls, okay, or the initiative realms. But let's jump over to the element of fire, shall we? Because why not? With this initiative realms, it's about understanding your relationship with the things that come into your reality. Like I was saying in so many ways, but now it's an understanding of how certain lived experiences will get you closer to or further to whatever it is you've decided on or whatever it is you need to decide on. And I would say, I mean, it's kind of cliche, but I would say follow your bliss and do what makes you happy. Because the Queen of Ariel, the Queen of Pentacles, her last quality is happiness. And she's the Queen of Pentacles. Like she's abundant, right? Your happiness is going to be what takes you there. And a lot of people say it, follow your bliss. I know in high school, I had a teacher, my freshman year world geography teacher, and I still have my world geography book up there for some reason. Um, but he said, like, follow your bliss and slay your dragons. Slay your dragons and follow your bliss. Now, that's a very sort of Western medieval approach to the dragon, like hashtag not all dragons. And so you could listen to the sage advice of maybe a more Eastern dragon and follow your bliss. I would say overcome your obstacles and follow your bliss because slaying dragons is so like 1432 or whatever year it was in like Europe somewhere. Whereas in the East, because like dragons bring a lot of knowledge and a lot of wisdom. And it's interesting that there's such a like a rich history of occultism, for lack of a better word, esotericism and esoterics. There's such a rich history of like esoterics and esotericism over there. And it comes with a respect for those um, energies, entities, or whatever. And then and it's interesting because that time period is kind of sort of also tied to the Dark Ages, right? The medieval times, the Dark Ages, and then you have the Renaissance. So I don't know if it's more of the Dark Ages or the Renaissance, but I feel like it's more of the Dark Ages. And it's like they're going around killing dragons. And if dragons symbolize like wisdom and like abundance and the treasures that they sort of garner, is that the word I want? And the treasures that they hold. It's like they're going around killing the dragons, living in the Dark Ages. Dragons breathe fire, so in some element they're bringers of light. Living in the Dark Ages. It's like, okay. While on, the other side of the world, things are like not that dark. Or if they are dark, they're dark in a different way. Right. Anyway. I just cleared my throat. My throat is getting so like raspy and dry. So this initiative souls. I keep saying that. The initiate of realms. I can't even keep my own elements straight. Like I'm mixing up elements all over the place, mixing up suits. This initiative realms has this understanding of the above and the below. So when he encounters something in the below that does not reflect his above, then he knows that something is off. And I think that's kind of sort of going to be one of the key sort of factors. And if we extrapolate this, or if we take this sort of out of the realm of spirituality, right, there are a lot of people who don't have a job right now, who are losing this and who are losing that. And we're kind of sort of almost in this space where any option seems like a good option because we're wanting to do something, wanting to make some kind of movement, desiring and longing so bad to for some kind of return to normalcy, when we have this opportunity to create something better in this space rather than just returning to the systems that didn't really work in the first place. But again, it's like it's that energy of like some people are so desperate, or not desperate, but so some people are wanting so badly to do something, to move, to return to what was normal, that they're going to take up things that may not necessarily be for them when they have this opportunity to do something that would sort of serve them greater and push and propel them further. And that's kind of sort of how it's reflected on a different level, right? It's like it's happening on an individual level, it's happening on a collective level, it's happening in an unseen way, and it's also happening in a very seen way. And I feel like it's kind of sort of always been like this. It has always been like this. But now, if you're in a certain mindset, and maybe it's just because I'm more aware than I was, a few years ago, it's like I can see it for what it is now. And so yeah, this is all about, and I'm not even going to go too much deeper into this because this is already 37 minutes. I was going to like pull cards and do everything, but I don't think I need to. This is moving forward when things begin to open up. Look at your options and see what truly resonates for you, what seems like it's for you to do. Now, there could be things that societally you should do. There could be things that you're getting pressured by family or friends to do. There could be things that you used to want to do maybe in the past that don't necessarily quite line up with where you're going right now. And then there are going to be things that actually kind of sort of line up with where you're going. And you can kind of, one of the ways to tell will be like what makes you happy. And it's not like what would have made you happy 2 or 3 or 5 years ago. It's not what will make your friends and family happy. It's not what will make you a productive and contributing member of society. It's what actually makes you happy. What brings you joy. And with this chariot, it's like, do you act on it? Because if you don't, it's time to. When you choose a direction, when you make a choice, and when you begin to act, make sure it's something that brings you joy. And then we have this three of Raphael right here, which speaks of community and friendships. It says, reasons to celebrate, a community of friends, happy announcements regarding relationships or children. So I feel like when you do the things that make you happy, it's going to lead you to the community that you're supposed to sort of be in, and it's going to lead you to a community that you can build with. And the seven plus the three of cups is the 10 of cups, which is very, very fulfilling. And then you have the Queen of Ariel right here, who's like the abundance, the earthly, tangible things, and then you have the emotional, heart-filled things as well. But this King of Michael, like he's a fighter, he's a warrior, he's the warrior king, right? The King of Wands is also a fighting king, but I feel like he's more of a, his energy can be very destructive. I feel like the King of Swords is very like, I feel like the King of Wands would wage a war because he wants something, right? You have this resource and I want it, so we're gonna fight you for it. I feel like the King of Swords fights the wars that need to be fought, and he negotiates and barters and establishes trade where necessary, right? It's like I don't have to kill you or go to war with you to get what I want from you. I have something you want, you have something I want. We can come together, peacefully negotiate a trade, whatever, and expand both of our kingdoms, form these alliances, and live peacefully together. Like, not everything needs to be so contentious, but if there's conflict in your heart, then you're going to continue to manifest conflict in your reality. It's time for us to begin to see our world for what it is, and it's time to, especially, it's time for us to know ourselves, because in these moments of stillness, there will be lots of things that come to tempt you. And I feel like with that hangman energy, that's not on the table, but it just jumped out. I mean, it didn't jump out because the conversation is going there. But with the hangman energy, it's about sitting and waiting until the thing that you know is for you comes for you. Now, again, it's not to say that you don't do anything, but like, does this make you happy? And like, there are some things, sometimes it's like, okay, I need to make ends meet, fair, but how badly do you need to make those ends meet? And how much of your own happiness are you willing to sacrifice to make ends meet? Because I feel like there are a lot of people that have been sacrificing their happiness to make ends meet for a very long time. And that's one reason why I never really like wanted to work a job that I don't like. Like when I was in college, and if it was the summer, like that's one thing, right? But like if you're out of school, because it's like it's so easy to get complacent. And that's one reason why I never quite wanted to like come home, because it's so easy to get stuck at home. It's like, you're working this job because you have these bills that you need to pay. You're working a job because you need a place to stay. And it's like you're always going to have bills. You're always going to need a place to stay. The more comfortable you get, the more you sort of acquire. And then it's like now all of a sudden, like, I want a new car to get to work. And so now there's a car that you have to pay for. Oh, I'm getting all this stuff and like I need a bigger place. So now your living expenses go up. It's like it's so easy to get stuck in a place. And so if you have an attitude of just trying to make ends meet, you could be doing that for a long time. Um, but yeah, I mean, I guess that's all that's sort of here today. I feel like this is more so preparing for the future than today necessarily, but maybe it is today. Maybe you've been manifesting options and you've been manifesting, excuse me, it's like you've been manifesting options and opportunities, and also you found yourself with options and opportunities. And some of the things that we manifested a while ago. And some of the things that made sense for us, before don't necessarily make sense for us now. So again, it's about being in touch and in tune with yourself, ultimately, first and foremost, so that as everything else kind of sort of happens, you can navigate and proceed accordingly. I have not talked about the chariot much at all, but the chariot is here. So it's not to not do anything, but it's to do and pursue the things that make you happy. And it's almost like you can build a life anywhere. You can make ends meet anywhere if you had to, right? And so why not go to the place where you actually want to make all of that happen? Especially if you're one of the people who has like lost a job and who are kind of sort of starting from ground zero anyway. And it's not that you're starting from ground zero. And like you still need money to get a place and stuff like that, but if you have to sort of work hard anyway, why not work hard for something that you actually want, for something that will make you happy? And also, it may be time to stop doing the things that don't make you happy, because as long as you continue to do those things that don't make you happy, as long as non options remain options for you, you'll continue to manifest non options. And then you'll be sort of picking the best option from a lot of non options, where if you shift your sort of mindset and action set, the way that you think about things and the way that you operate and behave, then you will begin to manifest more of the things that you actually want. Because as long as you continue to, it's like, dogs who eat bad dog food, cats who eat bad cat food, they never get the good stuff. I mean, some of them do, but a lot of them don't. And if they do get the good stuff, it's on occasion. Right now, the picky cats and dogs, they get the good stuff all the time because that's all they eat, and their owners aren't going to let them starve. So you can be more picky. You can go for the things that you actually want. Now, we ain't cats and dogs, but the universe, God, spirit, in some way, our angels, they are our owner. They take care of us. They keep us, right? They protect us from things that we don't even necessarily know about, and they provide for us in ways that we may not even necessarily know about. And so it's like, if we act a little pickier, if we're a little choosy, if we're acting from a space of our value, because again, that's all of this earth energy is our value and our worth. And if we maybe begin for some people, maybe continue for others, um, to refuse the things that would take us away from our happiness, and if we continue to refuse the things or begin to refuse the things that don't speak to our worth, then we'll get better. And yeah, that's what I got for today. I'm going to record Virgo and Leo really quick. And I may do Cancer too for funsies. Because I can do 3 and 3 instead of 2, 2, 2. Maybe, maybe not. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I'm going to do that. Because the earlier I do it, the more I can work later. And it's not even 2 o'clock yet. So I'm going to do that. So have a good whatever whenever you see this. Or have whatever time you want to have in the time you see this, and leading into at least the next day, if not the rest of your life. But yeah, whatever you want to have, I hope you have it. And I hope you act in alignment with getting it, because that's the most important thing. Um, I feel like the time for asking, the time for asking is always, but the time for doing is definitely now. So I hope you are acting in alignment to get the things that you want. And if it's a period of waiting, if it's a period of refining, if it's a period of internally making sure you're right and getting in tune and preparing for whatever you're preparing for, because it's also, the hangman is also a moment of preparation, right? So it's a moment of stillness and like not necessarily going after every single thing that comes your way. It's a moment of stillness and not necessarily giving into the distractions and the vices that keep you sort of numb and complacent. And it's a moment of sort of readjusting, realigning, connecting, and preparing for what's coming next. It's like all of that is going on right now. Maybe with this chariot, this is about us getting the horses on the same page before we take off. That's what this chariot is about. Because like I mean, there are people who are moving, right? But in the now moment, it doesn't necessarily feel like too much movement. It feels like making sure you got the self right. And bottom of the deck, I didn't even look, is the Eight of Raphael. The Eight of Raphael is, there is something better waiting for you. Do what you know is right for you in the spiritual quest. So exactly everything I was just saying. There's something better waiting for you. Do what you know is right. Do what makes you happy. And like actually happy, and not like, like doing what makes you happy, also like talking about walking away from vices. Doing what makes you happy isn't doing what makes you able to cope with the moment. Like there's a difference between doing something to cope and doing something that makes you happy. Not that coping is bad, but are you gonna like cope your life away? Like YOLO. And it's a spiritual journey. So this is a very spiritual matter, even though the element of earth is super heavy here. It's always spiritual, right? All right, I'm gonna catch y'all later. I'm gonna get this spiritual work done before I can get my physical work done. And my physical work is still spiritual work because it's all preparation. It's all about acquiring the things that we need to acquire to be the best us.